Hey guys, I've got a 10-minute unrated game. Yeah, I think it's unrated. Yeah, against vs.867, who's rated 867. Now, I have to say, today is not a fantastic chess day for me. So far, I can tell I'm not on my best form, and so I'm not going to gamble a load of rating points on games. Here I'm just playing an opening that I'm fairly familiar with. Ooh, okay, so he's played this. So I've gone for this. I was going to play the wing variation because normally a French player would play c5 there and then you play b4. So I'm just going to grab the center and grab some space here. With having my... So this is basically, it's a French advance, isn't it? Now he's going in with the pawn there. If he takes... If I take, he's probably going to take with the knight. I don't really want that. But he is exposing his king here, for sure. So I'm thinking just probably normal development. Let's bring the bishop out. Pin that knight. So now, if I take, he's still got three options. Doesn't really help. I'm just going to go now. If he takes there, I can't recapture with the knight. Maybe that's not too bad. Okay, let's just castle. Okay, kick of the bishop. I'm just going to bring the bishop back to here. If he takes knight or pawn, he's not interested in taking. Good. That kind of makes me happy. Do I need to kick the knight? Do I need to? Don't think so. Don't think there's any need to kick the knight. If takes, I've got c takes, and then if he takes here, I've got d takes again, and then I've still got my two central pawns. And I am slightly ahead in the fact that I've castled, so I don't want to play my knight there. My knight's kind of awkward. But maybe here, here, and round, and come in for an attack that way. That might be a good idea. So if he takes here, I'm quite happy because I can recapture with my c-pawn and then get an extra d-pawn. So if he doesn't take, I'm going to kick him and ask him the question, I think. Never played vs.867, I don't think. He says, by the way, loving your vids, so well done mate, you made it onto today's video. So I don't really know what to do with today's video. I wasn't really feeling very chessy. Okay, he's advanced f5. That allows me to play my bishop to here and attack the queen. He can't block with the knight there, he'll have to block with knight or bishop there. But I'm not liking the pawn structure now. I think, you know, he's not very strong on the king side. He's not very strong on the queen side. Which way is he going to think about castling? I don't know. Might think about pushing these pawns up and remove that from the bishop, but I've kind of got it covered anyway. I need an attack, some kind of attacking idea. Now, there isn't really a rook lift. I'd have to go to e3, bring a rook round. Let's play rook e1 anyway. Maybe with ideas of that. And another pawn push, mate. You've got to stop doing this. Okay, now I can't play knight to there. I'd like to play knight to there and in there, but queen's guarding that square. So, Alright, let's lift the rook. You might kick me again with another pawn push. Too many pawn pushes, I think, here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pawns are off the mark, and he's still got 2 minor pieces and the queen. Yeah. See, now I just drop my rook back, and this pawn's now attacked by the bishop. So you're not going to play, don't play g5. You're going to play g5. He's played g5. Right, so now this king side's wide open, right? I'm even thinking about maybe trading my knight for a couple of pawns just to open things up in the middle. I'm castled, black isn't castled, right? So this situation in general, your idea needs to be to break open the center. Now we have deadlock in the center, so that's not viable. So we have to look at the wings, C and F files. So, I don't know what to do. Let's bring the knight round, in absence of another idea. So now I might take, say, with the knight or bishop. Bishop takes, pawn takes, knight takes. I've got a knight here, and then, whoo. Wow. Okay, I'm just going to play an intermediate move, just stopping the ideas of the bishop coming out. If you can hear a small train in the background, it's actually my dog. Yeah, that's not really doesn't really do anything, that move. Also undefends this pawn. So can I get a knight to here and attack the pawn? That's the only real good square, but no. No. So which is best, a bishop or a knight on this side of the board? So bishop takes, pawn takes, knight takes. I don't have this anymore. Let's put my bishop here. Just attack this knight casually. If the knight moves, I can trade bishops, get rid of that bishop that doesn't really have much prospect up this side of the board. Oh! Pushy push push. Takes, takes, queen takes. Yeah, I'm tempted. It's too tempting. I'll pre-move the recapture. So now I've got like queen here. That square's guarded by the knight. I also now have... Ooh, I have this, look. How did that get there? Yeah, yeah. You see, I was wanting to attack this with a knight, but I couldn't get to there. Now I have a fork on queen and bishop. Now, question, is it the time to play that fork right now? I have this. He can block with the rook or the knight, but I have two attackers, so that's not workable. So if queen here now, he's going to be forced to move there. No. Well, this now, queen has to move there or there. Or take out the knight. I'll just get recaptured by one of them. Okay, let's throw in the check, see what happens. Bishop's defending that pawn. Yep, king's moved. Alright. So now if I drop my queen back, I'm threatening check there. So I like that as a threat. He's got no real attack. 4 minutes left on the clock. He's got 7 minutes. So I've got two attackers against this pawn. No, I don't. That's not a bad move. I can kick the knight away with g4. That might work. But then the knight moves here and defends the pawn, yeah? Let's take out the bishop. Queen recaptures. Okay, so that was a decent move. Now I'm going to look at this. Defended by the pawn, fork on king and rook. Yeah, I don't see an immediate threat. He's got rook takes there, but then I've got queen takes. That should be all right. So that's the threat. Do you spot the threat? 867, this is the kind of area where you should be developing that kind of skill. Okay, so what he's done is he's gone ahead and grabbed a free pawn, but now he's going to fall to this fork. And now his queen's gone. Can't go there because I can capture. This pawn is still pinned. Got to be aware of that. Okay, 3 minutes. Plenty of time. Right, I'm up a queen for 2 minor pieces. So I want to get rid of this knight so I can capture that, but how do I get rid of the knight? I don't know. Maybe should I take this? No, then he's got knight there. With check, wins my rook. That's not the end of the world. Just play this. So I'm attacking this and defending that. Okay, he's got a fork on 2 rooks, which I missed. If I do that, I'm threatening. He takes. Hey, it's not bad. It's not bad play. Don't have any big threats. See, I was only thinking about my own attacking. I wasn't thinking about his defending ideas. Okay, let's drop the queen back. Look at this pawn. I'd like it if he could grab. Oh, he's grabbed the wrong one. Okay, so now my rook is going to have to come back to look at this pawn, which is also pinned. Okay, I see what you're doing. He's got now bishop and rook lined up there, so I'm going to defuse that with g3. Can't take the pawn. I've got 3 ways to recapture. My rook's going to come back. Ooh, you spotted it. Okay, let's play this anyway. Now, if I play this and this, he can just take with the rook, right? So that's not very good. Okay, so what's undefended on the board? That is, I'm going to go after that. Don't think he can push the pawn forward. That's not workable because I've got rook takes pawn. How does he defend this? Ah, he doesn't. Okay, and now I've got the threat of capturing the bishop. Another tactic. The only defender of the bishop is pinned to the king, so can't recapture. So queen takes bishop is an idea. I'm threatening this rook that's defended by the king. If the king moves away from the defense of the rook may fall. Okay, so now he's missed that one, yeah? Pinned pawn, can't recapture. Unfortunate. He might as well grab the pawn. No, he might as well not grab the pawn because I've got queen takes e6. So you can see, you know, a sub 1000, a real mix of good moves and not so good moves. Okay, I can't capture that, it's still defended twice. If I go here, he's got to go there or there, there's no way to block. I might just grab this pawn on my way through. Well, that's not really a great option now. I have, okay, hang on. If king takes, he moves his king with a discovered attack, but that's discovered check. That's not a bad idea. I can handle that. Yeah, so I've seen the threat, I've evaluated the threat and calculated that it's not too bad. Yeah, he said in the chat he thought his rooks were lined up. Well, that's why you have to play what's on the board, not what you think is on the board. Check. Okay, it's going to end soon. Now that's a check. Gives the king 1 square. Then I take the rook. So let's simplify this. He has to go here. In which case I could actually go. Oh, you resigned. Oh well, we could have finished that one off. Do you want to do another one? Let's see if we do another one. No, not decline that one. Okay, but interesting game. So let's do a quick review, right? So French defense, and we get into like a French advanced variation. This f6 move, now this f6 move is a move in the French from black, but it's kind of problematic. So I just let it be for now. I pinned this knight against the king so that if pawn takes, I could recapture with the knight. And that knight's no longer defending that square, but okay, we break the pin. I simply castle, kicks. I'm not sure about kicking the bishop here, because you have to evaluate the threat. So am I going to capture his knight with my bishop? Probably not. You know, it's only half a threat. The pin was a threat, or a potential threat, but after the bishop broke the pin, I didn't think he had anything to worry about. So now he comes after my bishop, and I decide it's okay because he's got this threat of this f6 pawn messing up my center. So now he takes, I recapture, and he probably sees that if he takes there, I'll just recapture and reform, and then he's lost Freddie, which is not a good thing. So he pushes Freddie, and this is a bit of a theme, lots of pawn pushes. So let's see how it works out in the game. Okay, and so I centralize my rook, another pawn push. I lift my rook, because I'm slightly short of plans at this stage. He kicks the rook, I retreat. He plays yet another pawn push, g5 now. I come round. See, I'd eyed up this pawn before, and now he moves his knight in. b3, maybe wanting to release this bishop, because obviously you shall not pass on this side of the board. Simple bishop move, that's a non-move. I attack the knight, he pushes, and now we go for this idea. So I'm sacrificing material here. I'm getting a pawn, I'm getting one of his advanced pawns that he's actually already invested a couple of moves into. He takes, I recapture with a queen. And now I have a knight looking at this undefended pawn here. You have to look out for pieces that are defended and undefended. So here I do have the option of just grabbing the pawn. The queen would have to move there or there. Then I've got the option of capturing the bishop. But I'm going for the check instead. Drop back, threatening mate, actually. And the knight blocks. This is a decent move. So here I had the option. I could have played g4, but the knight would have simply gone back here, defending this pawn. Yeah, I would have undefended that pawn as well. So I get rid of the bishop, and I'm now looking at this fork. Okay, why did my opponent make that move? Right, this doesn't look like it's got much of a point. Why play that move? Yeah, moving my knight from a nice central attacking position with this guy effectively pinned, because if this guy moves, queen goes in, curtains. Why move there? Well, you've got to have a look. Well, where's the knight trying to go? Oh, I see. Defended there with check and a fork. And he misses that threat. We go in. And now he sacks his queen for a knight. Unnecessary. But he is in check. But still, I think just retreating the king would have been okay. Give up the rook. Queen takes. You've lost an exchange, right? But here, you've given up a queen for a knight, so that's -6. That's not good. Okay, now I want to dislodge this knight, but I'm only thinking about my plans, and I forgot about my opponent's ideas. And here, because my queen's moved off this square, I can't go in and capture that pawn, which is a pain. So I drop back. He grabs the rook, so he's won an exchange there. This was a decent move, right? But I spotted the threat, and try and dilute it. This is good. Grabs the pawn and also adds a defender to this pawn. I bring my rook across anyway, adds a third defender to the pawn. Now I attack the rook, king defends, I grab the pawn. And now, is there a danger of this? I mean, if rook had taken there, I'd probably capture with a queen, rook takes, king takes, and it's 10 points for 10 points. So I'd then be up an exchange in the ending. But here, yeah, so this is another tactic that was missed. Bishop is under attack by the queen. Its only defender is this pawn, but the pawn is pinned, so can't recapture. And that's now a big difference. Now he grabs this pawn, but no, loses material. And that was a blunder on my opponent's part. So check, check. Grabbing pawns now, opening up the board, and game over. Right, interesting game. So thanks Bakes205 for that one. I hope you've picked up a few things, and I hope you, the viewer who is not Bakes205, has picked up a few things from that as well. I'm going to carry on watching YouTube videos and doing some research, because it's not really the day for playing awesome chess today. But thanks for watching, and I will see you soon.